If you guys are looking for the best jerseys for the best prices, make sure you guys go check out Jaden's Jerseys. We have all your favorite teams in NBA, NFL, MLB, and college football and basketball. Best prices and the best quality. So make sure you guys go check out all of our selections at Jaden's Jerseys right now.
Welcome back in, everybody, to another episode of the TBT Podcast. Today we're going to be talking about the Kansas City Chiefs versus the New York Jets and what's going to happen at MetLife Field this Sunday.
Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of the TBT Podcast. TBT Podcast, the TBT Podcast.
Well, everybody, another week is upon us. We're going into week number 4. This was originally going to be the State Farm Bowl. It was going to be Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers. But it looks like we're not going to get that. We'll be getting Zach Wilson. To me, this episode is really just going to be kind of talking about how it's another game to just kind of get that offense going. I really just want to really emphasize in on our offense. And the thing that I'm really intrigued to talk about is just really getting a lot of looks to our receivers, and that's mostly what's going to be on the agenda today on the podcast. But before we get started, we have to shout out the sponsor of the episode. It's, of course, Jaden's Jerseys, my business. Guys, if you guys are looking for great jerseys, make sure you guys go to Jaden's Jerseys. The ad plays before every episode. We have a great selection of jerseys. You guys want awesome jerseys like this. I'm rocking my Travis Kelce Super Bowl jersey. Got to wear Kelce with everything going on with Taylor Swift and all that. She will be at the game, so hopefully we get a Kelce touchdown. But that's besides the point, especially you Swifties, if you guys want to look good wearing a Travis Kelce jersey, make sure you guys go check out Jaden's Jerseys for great quality jerseys. Now on to the field and what can transpire in this game versus the Jets. The first thing I want to talk about is kind of the Jets team in general. Like I said before, this is going to be a State Farm type game where you have a great player like Aaron Rodgers, and then all of a sudden Aaron Rodgers, 4 plays in, season's over. So to me, again, there's not too many threats I can look at on the Jets side and say that I'm just overly concerned about. I'm really not. There's not too many people on the Jets I'm going to sit there and be concerned about, because when you have a guy like Zach Wilson, I think Chris Jones and company are going to be able to just absolutely attack this defense, this offensive line this Sunday. They have one of the weaker offensive lines in the AFC. I think Steve Spagnuolo is going to drop some great blitzes to get after Zach Wilson, really confuse this young quarterback who really just has not figured it out in the NFL. But I think it's also our secondary as well. And they have a guy in Garrett Wilson. They have some playmakers on that team. But Trent McDuffie, the way Trent McDuffie has been able to stop the pass and also make big plays, it's not just like he's getting the interceptions. He's forcing fumbles. He's batting down passes. And he's just playing great coverage defense. There's only been 2 players that have a grade above 80 on PFF the last 2 games, and that has been Trent McDuffie. He's the only corner in the entire National Football League that graded 80 or higher the last 2 games. That was Trent McDuffie. Trent McDuffie has played absolutely phenomenal, and I think that's a big reason why this defense has been so good. I feel like, and I was kind of mentioning this to some of our viewers, is they hear, hey, well, you know what, you got to play the Chiefs that have a top 10 defense. Most people kind of just are like, even if they absolutely knew the Chiefs had a top 5 defense statistically, they're going to look down upon it because the last 6 years, the Chiefs defense has just been mediocre. So most people, when they hear Chiefs top 5 defense, they kind of look at it like, yeah, they have a top 5 defense, but they're okay. They're not great. But the Chiefs defense so far has held teams to 33 points total in 3 games. 33 points total. And they've also held the team to less than 2 touchdowns per game. Yeah, that's right. 2 touchdowns per game for the Kansas City Chiefs defense. This defense has a true potential to be the best defense in the league if they keep on this pace. I mean, you have guys like Chris Jones. You have guys like Charles Meney, who's coming back. George Karlaftis. These guys have been big part of why the defense has been so good. And then the little guys. Willie Gay making plays. You have Drew Tranquil making plays. You have so many guys that have came in this year, and the rotation of this Chiefs defense has been absolute stellar. Steve Spagnuolo has mastered the absolute rotation of his defense, and I think they throw so many looks at offenses. That's why I think this is going to be a big time defensive showing for the Kansas City Chiefs. If you guys thought last week was a big time showing for the Kansas City Chiefs against Chicago, I think this week is going to be even bigger. I think they have even more true potential to shut out the New York Jets. Yeah, if the New York Jets get some, maybe runs on the ground with Hall, but I really think this is where the Chiefs can put up a lot of points, but really get this done on defense. I'm predicting an interception and at least 5 sacks from this Chiefs defense. Yes, you heard me right. 5 sacks from this Chiefs defense. I really think they can get out and get a sack a couple times on Zach Wilson. I think Zach Wilson's struggling, and it doesn't help that he's going into town, having to play, or the Chiefs are coming into town, and he has to play against, all the media. It's a night game. Taylor Swift's going to be there. All the celebrities will probably be out on this one because you have Patrick Mahomes, you have Travis Kelce, and this is just going to be a big game under the lights. And I think that Zach Wilson's not going to be ready for this Kansas City Chiefs defense. But moving on to more of the offensive side of the ball, as we talked about Kelce, Mahomes. Now, Kelce's been Patrick Mahomes' security blanket the last 7 seasons. But one guy, and I've said this in our previous one, who's starting to just develop in this role, and I think is only going to get better as the season comes along, and that is Rashee Rice. Rice has looked great. He has over 280 yards of offense. He has 2 touchdowns. Should have 4 total touchdowns on the season because he got to the 1-yard line twice last week. Rashee Rice is the real deal. I think he has potential to be the true Kansas City Chiefs #1 receiver by the end of this season. Absolute phenomenal game versus Detroit, scoring the first touchdown of the season for the Kansas City Chiefs. Goes out again versus the Chicago Bears, has a great game. Goes against the Jacksonville Jaguars, has another phenomenal game. I think Rashee Rice is the real deal in Kansas City, and I look for more and more of this young rookie getting more reps as the season goes along and can really develop into that true #1. And another guy I would like to see really start getting the ball more and just down the field is MVS. I really want to see MVS be that deep field guy. We don't really have that right now. It's kind of just Watson, but we're going to start needing that. We're going to have to start getting more explosive as these teams come on. Do not get me wrong. The New York Jets have a very good defense, but when your defense is going to be primarily out on the field majority of the time, you're going to get gassed. So therefore, I think it's going to be a very tough time for the New York Jets defense how to deal with this. Yeah, you could say, Jaden, they have Sauce Gardner, and they have Johnson, and they have Williams, and they have all these other guys that can make good plays. But I think just, again, Andy Reid scheming. It's a Sunday night game. The Chiefs usually play well on Sunday nights. So this is why I think the Chiefs, again, they're going to get out early and get a big lead on them. And this is what I was talking about earlier. I really want to see the Rosses, the Watsons, some of these guys who don't really get as many reps, the Noah Grays, really like in-game reps. I think this has got to be a Ross game, a Justin Ross game, to really see what he can do for this team. Same with Rice. I want to see a lot of Rice because I think they're going to be up by a lot. Even if Blaine Gabbert comes in the fourth quarter again, Andy Reid is not this type of guy who likes to put up 70 points like the Miami Dolphins, just keep putting it on teams. But not that he has to keep putting it on teams and kind of just showboat in front of teams. I just want him to get these guys into game reps. You usually don't see that until maybe like a week 18, or if Mahomes happens to tweak an ankle or something like that, you have it where these guys have to get reps, or Travis Kelce is out. These guys have to get reps. But I really would like to see them really work Justin Ross this game and MBS. Guys who haven't really got touches. Sky Moore, I think Sky Moore's really turned himself into like slot guy in that other security blanket when Mahomes is kind of uncertain where to go. He's like, I have a guy that has been reliable, that's quick off the ball, and has really good hands. The only thing I would say about Rice is I trust Rice a lot, but he's got to stop dropping the ball. He reminds me of a Dwayne Bowe. But the only thing is, yeah, Rice is making these big plays, but he's also missing these easy plays and dropping the ball. And that's the only thing I really am concerned with Rice is he's got to just stop the drops. And I think other than that, he's going to be a really, really, really good player for this Kansas City Chiefs defense, or excuse me, this offense, and can really have a good get-right game. Not even a get-right game, but just a really good game and really figure out who he is versus game versus the Jets. I think another guy they have to keep going to, and he's shown that he's played well the last two games, is Isaiah Pacheco. Keep on the ball with Isaiah Pacheco. The running backs last game, and I get it, was the Chicago Bears, played really well. McKinnon played well, Pacheco played well, and Clyde played well. I want to see all three of these guys get more touches again. And I really think it needs to boil down to this. Scheme Clyde when you have to on passing downs. Get Jerick McKinnon there on third down and blocking downs and by into the red zone because he's a touchdown machine. Then just feed Pacheco on short downs and first down. That's how I really think it should be. You can use all three of these running backs in so many different ways. And again, you can pound the ball with Pacheco. You can pass the ball with Jerick McKinnon and Clyde. And you kind of have that quick outside runs, if you want, with Clyde Edwards because he is a little nimble back and he can kind of fit through those tackles and guard. So, again, I really like what they've been doing with the running backs. They have started to run the ball a little bit more. I know they had a big lead versus Chicago. But, again, this could happen again versus a team like the Jets. They could go out to a big lead and really feed the running backs. So those are really what I think the offense, how they're going to break it down. That's how you beat this Jets team. Is this Jets team is they're going to come out with every gadget and gizmo this game. They're going to try to blitz. They're going to try to probably do some special teams tricks. But, again, this defense is going to try to come out ready to go. And how you beat it, I think, is, again, you tire them out. You try to run the ball on first and second down, and you get it going on third down. And, again, obviously you look at a guy like Kelsey. He's going to want to get in the end zone. I think he's going to want to get in the end zone for his little boo thing, Taylor Swift. So he's a guy that I think could also have a big game, of course, the Hall of Fame Travis Kelsey. But I think he's going to be a huge, huge win for the Chiefs. I'd their Kansas City Chiefs winning 48-17. Kansas City Chiefs win 48-17. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Comment below what you guys think this final score is going to be, what you guys think about the whole Taylor Swift situation, plus what you guys think about this upcoming game versus the New York Jets, and what are your guys' thoughts. That'll do it for today's show. Make sure you guys go check out all of our other sites on social media. Until next time, guys, this is the TPT Podcast.